I went on really long in that previous video, so I just wanted to cover this really quickly. I'm going to go through it and I'm going to be posting this in the morning, the following morning. US household debt exceeds $14 trillion for the first time. When you see this type of data, it seems big, it seems extreme. A lot of people don't really understand it and what that actually means, but you can see the breakdown: auto loans, credit cards, student loans, and other, and it is very clear that student loans continue to increase and pose the biggest risk as far as I'm concerned. When you see what's happening with auto loans as well, I've shown you the data on that. The auto industry is in big trouble from all angles, whether you look at the debt that's held there, the actual corporations themselves, and everything else that's interconnected. There's details here in the article out of Bloomberg, but I'll just touch on this really quickly. Household debt jumps the most in 12 years, Federal Reserve report says. But you don't have to worry, because the level of household debt service as a percentage of disposable personal income is at all-time lows going back to 1980. Fantastic, everybody. You've done such a great job. Credit card debt rose to a record in the final quarter of 2019 as Americans spent aggressively amid a strong economy and job market, and the proportion of people seriously behind on their payments increased. So there's 2 points there. Number one, the fact that people spent more because of a strong economy and job market, and yet credit card debt went to a record high. What does that tell you? That's something that they're trying to explain to you doesn't make an ounce of sense. If the economy's so good and the job market's so good, why are you buying those things on your credit card and leaving the balance on that card month after month? That's the data I've shown you before. It's not as if you put it on the credit card, you wait a few days, you pay it off. That's totally fine. But I've been noting the fact that people have been keeping those balances on. I've shown you data before, even I think it was yesterday, the day before, that goes in line with this. Please understand what's happening right now. They are not telling the truth, or they don't get the whole picture. Something's not right. And of course, the people behind on their payments has increased. We're still looking at low levels, even on a historic basis, when you compare it to how many people are actually making their payments. But something that they, again, don't touch on: how many people are paying the minimum? How many people are not actually able to service all of their debt before the end of the month? That's the big news. This is from the New York Fed's website. Credit cards are the most commonly used type of consumer credit. More than 60% of people with a credit report have at least one credit card account. What's important to note about this is that the average credit card is charging a 17% interest rate right now in the United States. That's extreme, and people aren't going to be able to pay that back, especially as it compounds. But it's not just in the US. I'm going to show you 2 things from Canada just to give you an idea of what's going on all around the world. Consumer insolvencies approach record in debt-weary Canada. The most extreme debt, particularly because of real estate right now in Canada, it's gone to absurd levels. It's stupid. The amount that people pay for houses in Canada is stupid. There is a very accurate word to determine what's happening with people purchasing real estate in Canada. I'm going to say it again. It's stupid. Indebtedness is increasingly not an affliction of only the poor. As living expenses rise faster than household income, more higher income earners are struggling with debt and debt repayment, because in 2019, average household expenses, which include housing, food, and transportation costs, grew by 6.4%. Meanwhile, average household income rose 5.5%. So they'll tell you that everything is just fine, the economy is just roaring, things are fantastic, and yet expenses are going to grow faster. That's the problem. They're not going to touch on it. I will. If you appreciated this video, hit that thumbs up button. I'll end it there. See you later.